These are our second notes in preparation for the Math 1 Try 3 final. In this question, we're going to be reviewing systems of inequalities. The question says, write a system of inequalities given a graph. So the first step is going to be to find the y-intercept of each line and label it. So the y-intercept for this line is 3, and for this line, -1. That was easy. The second step is to find the slope of each line, and we're already halfway done. So to find the slope, we're going to create a slope triangle. So we already have one point, we just need another one. I'm going to pick this point because it's going to be a whole number that we land on. If I draw my slope triangle, I will see that it has a rise of 3 and a run of 4. Therefore, the slope for this line will be the rise, which is 3, over the run, which is 4, and it's a positive line, so I'll keep it positive. So we've now found our B and our M. For the second line, I'm going to pick a point just like I did before. It looks as though this point goes right through the corners of the boxes to give us a whole number. I draw my slope triangle. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, a rise of 4, 1, 2, and a run of 2. So the slope for this line will be 4 over 2, which then simplifies to 2. So I divide them. But the line is going down, so I will make that a -2 to represent the negative or decrease in the line. So we have the slope and the y-intercept for both lines now. The third step is to determine the inequality for each line. Remember, we have these to choose from. These guys are always a dotted line, and these are always a solid line. This says less than, and this says, and then this says less than as well, but also equal to, so less than or equal to. And this guy says greater than or equal to. So I know that this solid line will be one of these guys. The solid line shades downwards, and I see that because this is an empty space up here, so I know this line shades downwards. Downwards to me is a less than or equal to inequality. So for this line, it'll be a less than or equal to inequality. For the dotted line, I know I'm going to also be using one of these guys. This is also shading downwards, and we know that because if I were to look at the shading of the line, it shades over the y-axis where y becomes less than. So I know that this line is also a less than. Now I'm going to put everything together and write my system. So I'm going to just write y equals mx plus b to sort of give me a reference for where everything goes. I'll draw my system brackets. So the first one, I'm going to start with, let's do the solid line. So y is less than or equal to. The slope of this line is 3/4 x. And the y-intercept of this line is a +3, so I will put +3. The next line is the dotted line, so it's again y is, and we determined that had a less than. The slope of this line was -2x, and the y-intercept was -1, so instead of putting +1, I'm going to put -1 because it crosses at -1.